People who rely on their Social Security checks are angry that they may be losing some benefits in the future. Right now, they're protesting outside the Lincoln Federal Building. That's where Star City's Lorena Carmona is live with the story.
It's a nationwide day of action. This protest is happening in more than 40 cities across the country. People are forming human chains around federal buildings and congressional offices. It's almost symbolic.
The human chain represents what the federal government is doing to their Social Security checks. It is a response to the proposed chain CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index. It will be the new way to calculate the cost of living for Social Security, which will impact the elderly, disabled, veterans, and any other Social Security recipients. President Obama is looking at making annual cuts for the cost of living allowance. It would be an immediate cut if passed. If a person retires at the age of 65, his annual benefit cut is $658. Over 15 years, the loss would add up to $6,000. The amount will continue to increase with people living longer. At age 95, that same person will have lost about $28,000 in Social Security benefits.
And now here's a look at the way Nebraska congressmen voted on a proposed budget which included the chain CPI. We have Congressman Lee Terry voted for it, Adrian Smith against it, and Congressman Jeff Fortenberry didn't vote for it. And now we are live here with Al Mumm. He is the president of the Nebraska Alliance for Retired Americans, and we're going to ask him a couple questions. Al? All right, Al, can you tell me why that you think this is important?
Well, the chain CPI is a faulty method of calculating the cost of living allowance for retirees on Social Security. What it does is presume that people with less money will make better choices in their spending, but senior citizens have much different demographic of spending than the general populace. For instance, you can't, if you want a triple bypass surgery, you can't just tell the doctor I want double because it's cheaper. You have more prescription drug costs and other health-related costs. So the chain CPI would be a cut in Social Security beginning in January for all recipients and all future recipients. And it's really tragic because it's unnecessary. The Social Security Trust Fund is in good shape. Social Security does not contribute to the deficit and can't by law. And we feel that we don't want any grand bargain in August or September when the budget dealing comes down to try to balance the budget on the backs of seniors when there are so many other places in the budget for them to look for that money.
All right, and last question. Tell me, do you think this protest will impact?
Well, I think it'll have an impact because it's going on in over 40 cities, and in general, in polls, 70% of the American people support not cutting Social Security, not cutting Medicare. So this just reinforces what the general public already feels is a travesty to try to cut the income of people who can afford it the least.
Sounds great. Well, thank you very much, Al.
Thank you.
All right, and that was Al Mumm. Again, he's president of the Nebraska Alliance for Retired Americans. I'm Lorena Carmona for Star City News, live on location. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lorena.